Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Move with Love podcast. I am your host, April Miranda, healer, Reiki master, author, and entrepreneur, and I'm so excited to interview my next guest, Amanda Kirkland. She is a personal growth coach as well as a certified Avalon empowerment trauma aware transformational coach, a master practitioner in evolved NLP, that's neurolinguistics programming, quantum time release, quantum change process, and hypnotherapy, which has also completed a course in social impact awareness. Please welcome to the show, Amanda Kirkland. Hello, Amanda. Welcome.
Hey, April, I am so excited to be here and doing something different with you than you being my yoga teacher.
So wild, hey?
I know.
Oh, how our
Cool.
paths have crossed. Like, we were doing yoga consistently, like every Thursday, and then life happened. And I see you in this new community as we're getting our nails done. And
Yeah,
now here we are, doing totally different things
completely.
from what we were doing back then. It feels like a lifetime ago, hey?
It does. It does. How much a few years can change
Oh,
for the better.
for the better. Oh my gosh. Holy, where do I even start? Okay, let's start with, I just want to hear three major turning points that have brought you to where you are today.
Probably one, estranging myself from my parents and one sibling. That doesn't sound like a happy thing, but it was a turning point. The second one was probably I knew my career in real estate development, or the project I was working on, was coming to an end. I'd been working in that field for close to 30 years. And I kind of had to decide whether to continue down the same road and pursue another position at another company doing the same thing, or do something completely different. So instead of taking the usual right, I followed some breadcrumbs that the universe started to be dropping my way in front of me. And it led me to where I am right now. In between that, I started working with a coach on a business idea I had. Little did I know that at the end of the day, the most important thing that would come out of that was, my healing, my personal growth, but realizing that the journey I had been on, and the lessons I've learned and the shifts I've made, I wanted to share with other women who may be struggling with the same things I did, to save them, losing chunks of years of time or hours struggling with things that they really weren't going to be able to control at the end of the day. So I have tools now. I have lessons. I have, been there, done that. I'm living proof that you can get on the other side of, I like to say, from toxic to terrific.
Yes. What were the biggest lessons that you've learned?
That you can't change other people's behavior. It sounds so simple, but when I look back at almost every struggle I've had, what I was trying to do was get somebody to come around to my way of thinking. And I was writing about this earlier on today, and I realized that the people that I was trying to get to change, and in my opinion, change for the better, were never going to change, because they were, I'm going to say, hurt people. They were, and outwardly appeared, whether it was self-centered, egocentric, had narcissistic tendencies, etc. So there was a common trait in terms of the people I was struggling with a lot. And the more I struggled, the more it made me look like the one that was dysfunctional, and there was something wrong with me, because it was sort of my behavior was used against me. So yes, you can't change other people. My expectations have decreased tremendously. I realize now that just, because Amanda expects things to be a certain way, the rest of the world may not. So it's sort of, instead of trying to change things and wish things were differently, it's more taking control of our own behavior and our reactions and not worrying about the other person's. Because you can't do something about that. And if they are going to make any changes and you adjust your behavior, you may actually see some changes evolve over time with them.
Yeah, definitely like switching the perception. I see it as like even changing your set of goggles. Sometimes we look at the world a certain way, and then sometimes you kind of just like look like, oh, that's what's really happening. I've been thinking it one way, or even been gaslighted to think one way, and then
Yeah.
now you are aware of, yes, like what did I see in your bios, like you deserve to have your life in your own hands. What did you coined it beautifully? Life on your own terms is what you said.
Life in your own terms.
Yeah. And so what are some skills that brought you to becoming the coach? Is what I'm really curious. The skills, because you talked about some lessons, but now like what are the skills that brought you here?
I'm not sure if I'd call it a skill, but the fact that I've been where the people I work with, my clients, are today, and my life has done a complete 180, especially in the last few years. In terms of, skills, some of the skills I haven't done me a great service at times in a work situation previously, the corporate world, because I'm very intuitive. And that's one of the things with my clients when we're working together. In coach speech, we talk about the presenting problem, but what we really need to do is peel back all the layers of the onion to get to what is really the root of the problem, the source. And it's not something that I'm trained specifically to do, but I can piece together the pictures and something that's gone on in someone's life to better understand where some of their struggles may be coming from. And part of that is because, I've been there. I've dealt with dysfunctional, toxic relationships, narcissism, family estrangement, eating disorder, you name it. And didn't understand why all those things were happening or what was actually happening till I was on the other side of it. Empathy and listening would be the other two. And I've had to, you wouldn't know right now because I'm talking a mile a minute, but I have learned to be a much better listener.
Beautiful. When you said at the beginning, toxic to terrific. So you mentioned some family stuff, you mentioned some professional stuff, or even, so personal and professional. I guess, paint a little picture of where you were before personally, the toxic to terrific, and now professionally toxic to terrific. I'm just curious to hear and witness the there's the mic. The transformation.
Well, I feel about 50 pounds lighter, not, weight wise, but I feel like the weight of the world's taken off my shoulder. I was struggling so hard to prove that there wasn't something wrong with me that it almost made it look like there was something wrong with me. I don't know if that makes sense. When I was setting boundaries with my parents, I'll be candid about it. I walked into my doctor's office one day and he said, I've got a letter from your parents. And the first thing I said is, am I in trouble? And this is a 48-year-old woman saying this. And I read it and they said they feared I was on the verge of a mental breakdown, that I wasn't coming to the farm anymore. And her sisters suspect this, that, and the other, and that may be why she's not coming to the farm. I had started setting boundaries, and I didn't know at the time what boundaries were. But I started setting boundaries and started taking more care of myself, and it got turned around because they didn't like it.
Mm.
And I went through, a similar work situation and a friend situation where I started setting boundaries, and I always spoke up for myself, but probably not using the right language. And now I've gone down this road. I don't even remember what the original question was. where life was and where it is now.
Yeah.
Those people are not in my life anymore, and it is cleared the way for, well, a brand new career, a complete transition. A relationship I just celebrated a 1-year anniversary with that
Yay.
is best one I've ever had.
Mm.
And I'm surrounded by some pretty awesome, like-minded people, have met some, new friends, new clients. And just it's peace. I don't have to get up every morning anymore. And I didn't realize I was putting on a suit of armor and going to battle. And
Wow.
it is beyond freeing to know that, I still can get triggered by somebody with a certain personality, and want to react or respond the same way. I think we were out shopping this weekend, and there was a kid in Canadian Tire, and we asked him a question, and he just kind of like gave us a schluffy answer and shuffled off. And I was like, like, he shouldn't even have that job. Like, if I was at Roots working when I did as a teenager, and I'd behave that way, and I had to sort of let that go. So it's still going to crop up, but I didn't go on about it for 2 weeks. It was 10 minutes and we got out. But it's understanding and accepting people's behavior and knowing that there's a story behind why most people are the way they are. I'm going to say, I'm stumbling on my words here.
No, but I love the analogy you said, like, I'm at peace, I feel 50 pounds lighter, and I'm doing this action, if you're watching the video, because it's like, when you say I don't have to put on my armor and go to battle.
No.
And it's even just like working with the nervous system, it's like just feeling safe in your body, safe in your relationship, safe in your career. And for you to just be like, I'm at peace. Like, I think that's the biggest flex ever.
Yeah. And coming to not necessarily terms, but really owning my story. I do not hold resentment or anger. More, I understand why people are the way they are, and that I didn't have the tools at the time to handle those sorts of people the right way. So I was like, challenge, bull in a china shop. I did very well in the work world at what I did. Was I the most liked person? Probably not. Would some of those individuals have worked better with me had I not challenged them? We'll never know.
Yeah. But we're all brought into each other's path for a reason. And when you're talking about peeling back the onions, like, when you're dealing with, whether it's with ourselves or with our clients, like, I usually see, like, as a pattern, that a lot of our paradigms and programming, and that's on autopilot, comes from childhood. Is that something that
Absolutely.
you work with as well? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you with a newborn, we come into the world as these innocent, pure, loving bundles of, I don't know what you want to call them. I haven't had a child myself, but your little mushy things. And then the world gets their teeth into you or into us. And it does some pretty nasty things sometimes.
Yeah.
So, you know, the way we react to things is a direct result of everything that has been said to us, done to us, that we've said, we've done, all the experience we've had. You know, they create this filter through which we see the world, and it may not necessarily be a positive one. But when you peel back the onion and you start to understand, you know, why I worry so much about people not liking me, or why I worry, I think I said the first thing when I walked into my doctor's office was, have I done something wrong?
Or am I in trouble?
Oh, that's what it was. Am I in trouble?
Uh-huh.
I can still catch myself now thinking the same thing, like with coaches I work with.
Yeah.
Um,
Same thing like with my I could feel the little girl in me that wants to still be a good girl, still wants to be perfect, to get good grades, to be ultimately loved, right? But all these
yeah.
little things in my mind, I'm like, there it is again. Wanted to be the perfect little girl. But I'm like, okay, I just have to release that perfectionism and like send her love because I know it came from my dad. If like we're talking about peeling the onions.
Yeah.
So still, yeah, like we talk about these grown women having these little triggers that I'm like, oh, that was from childhood. Oh, that was also from childhood.
Well,
Like,
and what we do with our clients, and it's ongoing work on ourselves, we bring awareness about this so that when a situation happens again, you know, you still may react or get triggered, but it may only take you out for an hour versus weeks on end. You may stop yourself and go, wait, hold on a second. That was this 7-year-old.
yeah, the 7-year-old is calling the shots right now.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. I see that you have so many healing modalities, or what do you call these? Like, I don't even know what quantum time releases or quantum change processes. Like, with all of these like tools in your tool belt or toolkit, like who are your ideal clients?
I mean, the people or the women I work with are struggling with very dysfunctional, toxic relationships, um, whether it be their family, their work environment, their friends. They may not initially understand that it is toxic or dysfunctional or not normal behavior. And, you know, a lot of them are just, they're ready to throw in the towel fighting these people. And they just want, you know, like I said, to lead. When I was working with my first coach and she was pushing me about what my purpose was, and I was saying, I don't insert an expletive, have a purpose. To me, it was a very woohoo spiritual thing. And she kept pushing me and pushing me and pushing me. And finally, and this is like tears in a box of Kleenex later. I'm like, I just want to be happy. I want people to be happy.
Yeah.
I had somebody disagree with me the other day saying, we all deserve to be happy. Human beings deserve to be happy,
Like our
whether or not
birthright.
it's going to, yeah. So, you know, when I was figuring out what my sort of purpose statement was, it was along the lines of, you know, I want others to know that they're heard, seen, loved, supported, worthy.
Mm.
And I realized as I was sort of coming up with that, or the words were coming out, those are the things I don't feel like I had,
Mm.
or I got or was supported. So, you know, if I can be there for my clients to show them that they are all those things, they may not be getting them from the people around, but we need to get it's sorry, getting all tied up again. we have to give that to ourselves. I mean, that's the sort of the self-love. You can't get external validation. It's great if you do. And I want to be there to do that for them. But I think just gaining a better understanding of other people's behavior, in turn, we start to make our own adjustments, and respond to people differently when we know they've got a story going on and that's why they're acting a certain way.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I totally resonate. What advice would you give your younger self?
You can't change other people's behavior. It's so simple.
Yeah.
And I think I would arm my younger self with a list of sort of red flags, for toxic behavior in people,
Mm-hmm.
with if you see all this, just remember, you're not going to be able to change their behavior. You can change how you look at the situation, how you respond to the person. Yeah.
Beautiful. And I know you have an ebook that you wanna,
I do.
yeah, tell me the title of this book.
The book is 4 Secrets Strong, Gritty Women Need to Know to Rise Above Toxic Relationships. In the book, I share the tools that have helped me, or would, had I known, would have helped me navigate certain life situations a lot better. And in the book, I have four and after scenarios. So the way a boardroom situation went, and then using the tools, how it would have gone had I had the tools to use.
Okay, nice. And I'll definitely add that link to this free ebook in the show notes on the YouTube and the podcast show. Amanda, what does Move with Love mean to you?
Move with love mean to me? I think it just means, as a human, I said we all deserve to be loved. I think it's just acting with compassion for others, empathy for others, and yeah, happiness,
Yeah.
love, just treating each other like you said earlier. I mean, it's a birthright in a sense
Yeah.
to be happy.
Yes.
So if, I can make sure those that I'm surrounded by or surrounded by me, or when I walk into situations, that I don't bring, negativity and bad energy. And I think that's another thing too, move with love. Is with positive energy, with good intentions.
Yeah. Oh, beloved Amanda, it's been a joy, yeah, sharing your yoga practice with me. And like, that's why I love even the phrase move with love, because we were moving physically together. Like, yeah, we were in a yoga studio and doing these yoga poses and these yoga flows. But even though our careers have shifted, I still feel we are still moving with love, moving energy, moving the mindset, or just, you're like, even you're acting from a place of love, holding space and allowing your clients to feel seen, heard, supported, worthy of love. And so I celebrate you. I am so grateful that our paths have reconnected for this moment and this interview to happen. One last thing, where can our listeners and viewers find you?
I am on Instagram and Facebook at Amanda Kirkland Coach, and my website is amandakirkland.com. So they're all pretty straightforward.
Beautiful. So until next time, let's adapt the mindset. Let's live the lifestyle. Let's move with love together. Namaste.
Namaste.